I was doing all that talking and y'all couldn't see a damn thing. What is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It's your boy, MM2K, back again with another episode of Stadia Live Session. Man, we have a very interesting one today. But what you see on the stream, my friends, is you see one of our other channels, Stadia Dosage streams. We slightly rebranded it today, and I gotta apologize also too for the overlay. The overlay has yesterday's date on it. I didn't get an opportunity to fix it. Today was one of those wild and crazy days, and had a lot of running around to do with the wife. Barely made it back in time, so my apologies for that. But thank you everybody for coming. Let me see who we got in the house already. We got Alakazam. We got Zaljik. We got American Goulet. And Charles Aran, thank you so much for joining. And if you could do us a huge favor, tweet us out and let everybody know that we are live in effect. I'm going to do that right now. Boom. Let me see here. All right. And then we're going to go here. Kaboom. And then also, let's go here. Let me go here to the triple B. Kaboom. All right. All right. We are live. We are in effect. And I want to let everybody know that if you're not following this channel already, Stadia Dosage Streams, follow it now. You're going to want to follow it, because we're going to be having some streaming done there. If possible, I might even be doing some crowd play there, but I think the crowd play that I'm testing, that I'm in beta for right now, is tagged to, what do you call it? It's tagged to this channel. I signed up for the beta. I am very pleased that they've accepted me for the beta, but your profile in order to use the beta isn't roamable, meaning I can't just take it and use it. Even if I got multiple channels, I can't just use it. You know what I'm saying? So I got to use it on this channel right now, and I'm working to see if I can get, access to the streaming channel, because that's what we really want all the streaming to be. We make that separate channel for the hopes that for those that want to just see our streaming content, they could go somewhere where, again, they will just see streaming content, right? So we're working on that. But again, for those that are not aware, Stadia Dosage Streams is up. Definitely go there, check it out. And we'll be doing some stuff there. We'll be doing some crowd play on this channel, and hopefully there too soon. But what I am going to do is I'm not going to be able to do it today because it's just been a crazy day. But I'm going to do some Borderlands stream there soon on this channel to prep myself for the crowd play that I'm going to do here on this channel. All right. So with that said, we got some more people in the house. We got Red Raven 96. What's up? He says, we got them guns. Why not, gamer? He says, yo, what's good? Sajik says, live. And the homie Jagsaw Runny says, what's good, MM2K? How are you doing today, brother? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I've been doing a lot of crazy running. My wife, man, when she gets restless, oh my gosh. I done told y'all before, man, she done woke me up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to power wash the house. I live next to a fire hall, and they just be cracking up. They love it. Our family is purebred entertainment for them. But with that said, if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Rock those bells for notifications, please. All right. Also, too, do not forget that we had a video earlier today on this channel in regards to, let me see if I can pull it up. Your channel. Okay. Oh, I gotta switch it. I gotta switch this. All right, so I'm gonna go to my channel, and then we're gonna pull this up so you guys can see the video that I have here on this channel about a giveaway. Yeah, there is a giveaway. Let me share the screen again. There is a giveaway, y'all, that we are hosting here at Stadia Dosage. And you can win a chance. You can get a chance to win a Stadia Premier bundle. All right. We're going to be hosting this giveaway this Saturday during our 11 o'clock session of SML podcast. So if you want a Stadia Premier bundle, if you weren't able to get one via YouTube, or if you weren't able to get one because of the Cyberpunk deal, or you just want an extra one as a gift, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We got some more giveaways coming as well. This is just a kickoff, again, because we're going to be doing some transformations to the channel, how it operates, how much content you get. You guys are going to get unadulterated with stuff. That's why I'm switching up the style a little bit this week. I told y'all yesterday, I'm trying to do like 2 videos a day, a live stream video and then a pre-recorded one, just to test the waters and see how you guys like that type of content. Because really, the roadmap that we have going forward, really, there's enough content coming for 3-4 videos, but we can't stack the way YouTube is set up. We can't stack the channel with those many videos and you guys actually be properly alerted to all of them. It's not going to happen. So we got some other things that we're working on as well, but definitely see here your chance to receive a Stadia Premier bundle. You can do that. And then what happens is it'll warp you to Project Storm, where he gives full details on the giveaway and how to be eligible. And the thing is too, if you want to be eligible, you got to be following Project Storm. If you're not following Project Storm on YouTube, you're not eligible. Like I said, this is a platform to where we got a lot of people that help and make it what it is. People that you've never met, really. Y'all probably never even known this. But when it comes to Stadia Dosage, I don't send out all the tweets from Stadia Dosage. We have some help. This is a platform. It's just now we get some help behind the scenes for some of the communications that we get behind the scenes. And now we're trying to get front-facing, forward-facing participation, and we'll get more into that. But with that happening, we want the people that help make this platform what it is, we want them to be recognized as well. And Project Storm is just as important to this platform right now as I am. So, we definitely need to support our good friend Project Storm. He's putting out content all the time, 3-4 videos, crispy 4K all the time. And he is the co-host of SML. We need to show support even for this giveaway to happen, because the giveaway is happening on his channel. You know what I mean? So let's show the brothers some love. If you're not following Project Storm, shame on you. But in order for you to be eligible for this giveaway, you got to be following Project Storm. And then how you get entries, he talks about all that in the video, which is a wrap up to this video here on my channel. Okay. So just in case, just so you guys are all aware of that and what's going on there, let's get back to the show. All right. And let me see here. I want to share something else with y'all. I want to share. All right. Why am I in a singing mood? There we go. Oh, that's crazy. It just automatically shared it. There we go. We'll roll like that. All right, y'all. Here's what's going on. 2 main subject matters today. Cyberpunk 2077. There's a big fallout with that, and I'm going to talk about that more later as well. We are live. Hold on. We are live. I want to let everybody know that we're live. I want to talk about the fallout to a certain degree, but what I really want to get into is this whole situation where people have questions on, quote unquote, what's the best and what's the best version of Cyberpunk. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on all that. We're going to jump into this foray as well, because we're seeing a lot of comparison videos and stuff like that going up. Some great work in a lot of parts. We're seeing a lot of great stuff. And there's some confusion. Some people are like, well, hold on. I heard that the Stadia version is the best version all the way around. Then people are saying, I heard Stadia version is last place. You know, then other people are saying, I hear the Stadia version is slightly better than the PlayStation 4 and Xbox version. It's in fourth place. And we got a whole bunch of muck and, and stuff going on all over the intrawebs. And we want to clear it up. All right, so let me do this. I want to open this thing in a new tab. I want to get this the hell out of my way. We want to close this. I don't know why. Twitter, you got to do something. Just because I open up another Twitter page in a new tab doesn't mean I want my DMs to be showing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stop that. All right. Did I bookmark that? Yes, I did. Okay, so we'll leave that over there for now, and then I'll carry it over later. Who else we got in the house here? Red Raven says AC Origins and a couple more AC games are now on Stadia. You know what? Today's been so crazy, Red Raven. I haven't, because I didn't have Ubisoft Plus on Stadia as of yesterday. So it's still rolling out. I didn't get it yet. And I haven't even had a chance to check it. That's how wild and crazy today was. I haven't had a chance to check today. Today was one of those days to where you're like, ugh. And honestly, this is the first time that I've really got the chance to relax. You know what I'm saying? Really the first time I got a chance to relax and talk to you guys. Everything, it's just been so, it's been so extra. Like, dang, when is it going to end? But that's interesting, and I definitely want to dive into those. We got the homie Jason Long off of Facebook. What's up, Jason? He says, we love you. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. Hey, Jason, thank you so much, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that supports the platform off of Facebook, man. We don't forget about y'all, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Jason, so much. And it's only going to get bigger and better in 2021. Why? Because y'all ain't got to deal with sloppy mouth MM2K anymore. Now, y'all probably say, where the hell you get sloppy mouth from? Homie Projects don't get at me all the time. He said, man, slow down with that sloppy mouth. He said, slow down, man. You just stumble all over. You get so excited. I said, I know, but that's just what I do. Was that Obama when he hit that shot from the side? That's what I do. The homie Carlos Davis Cervantes, he says, hey, MM2K, how's it going? What have you been playing lately? My good friend. And he also dropped the $2 super sticker, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. To answer your question, Cyberpunk. And hey, look, y'all, don't leave. Just bear with me. Don't leave, but I've been playing a little bit on PC. But y'all gonna want to hear what I have to say. Don't leave. Don't leave. Y'all gonna want to hear what I have to say. But I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, most of it on Stadia. I started playing a little bit last night. That's part of the reason why that I'm tired and I've had a lot to do is because I fell behind schedule because I made a midnight run, literally a midnight run last night that I shouldn't have made. All right. American Goulet says, I've heard some rumors that Raytracing will be coming to Stadia with Hitman 3. Is that true? That is true. And I don't think it's a rumor. American Goulet, let's pull it up right here, courtesy of our good friends Cloudy. Chance of Gaming. Here, let's do this real quick. All right, y'all might be here, and let me make this a little bit bigger. Let me move it. And Goulet, I'm just gonna move you just for a second, my friend. Let's see here. Yeah, Raytracing coming to Hitman 3, courtesy of the homie Raph. I'm only going to read part of the article because I want y'all to read the rest, but this is part of our discussion too today. Today, Vulkan announced via Twitter that software has ray tracing. Why is this big news? Well, Stadia uses Vulkan. This means now it has the capability to use much sought after ray tracing. He talks about what ray tracing is. And there is a section where it says the Glacier engine has a Vulkan back end that powers Hitman 3 on Stadia. So that is said by Mauricio Del Pascal, CTO of IO Interactive. So they've already been working on this. They've already utilizing the ray tracing that is coming via Vulkan. So that's some big stuff, y'all. Definitely big stuff. And again, y'all, just so everybody, nobody misses this, because I think y'all gonna want to hear this from your boy. Let everybody know that we're live. This is not 12:14. I know I should probably change that. Let me, because I could do that while I'm talking to y'all. I'm multi-talented like that. I can change that, make that look right while I'm talking to y'all. Let me say this though. Now I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that for the ray tracing discussion. Here's what I do want to say though, y'all. Let me see if where the hell Stadia live session at? There we go. There you go, baby. We got to get this right for the people, baby. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, and I got some very interesting news for you guys. Now, I talked to the homie Project Storm, okay? Because you know that's the Project Storm. All right, what's happening here? How come it ain't letting me? I was about to say, don't want me to edit it, y'all. Want me to keep 14 up there. Because Project Storm, he got him a 3080. And he's going buck wild with that 3080. He's testing everything, and that's a great thing. And having something like that, again, doesn't mean that we like Stadia any less. It's just that, you know, as being gamers with a capital G, y'all, we're going to appreciate, you know, what other platforms have to offer. That doesn't mean that we love Stadia any less. It's great to have a coupling of different platforms when you can, you know, and really, as you guys will about to see, or about to hear rather, it makes you appreciate Stadia even more, especially with the news that we got today of ray tracing and everything. It makes you appreciate Stadia even more. So let me explain myself, everybody. Let's get rid of that erroneous overlay. Let's add the right one in there. Let's get the right one, baby. There we go. There we go. Now we cooking with grace. So I've been meaning to get Cyberpunk 2077 on. Oh, here we go with this upload. I can't stand this thing when it stays there. I've been meaning to get Cyberpunk 2077 on PC for a while. I just want to see because look, I'll be honest with you guys. Even though the Stadia version looks great, and I'm going to address the whole, is it fourth, fifth, and all the other stuff. Even though the Stadia version looks great in comparison to its counterparts opposite of PC, what CD Projekt Red did outside of PC wasn't that impressive. I mean, and you hear the arguments, y'all, because there's a big backlash versus CD Projekt Red right now. And I originally just captioned it off as fanboy fodder from the PlayStation people who feel such a need to try to trounce on any other entity outside of Naughty Dog of having Game of the Year contenders. They feel like that they should have the monopoly, and when anybody else gets recognized, it's a problem. Nobody else should be recognized. And that's the extreme wing of the PlayStation community, because those are the same people that say, oh, well, we talk about Xbox and Xbox doing so bad all the time because we want them to do better. But as soon as somebody attempts to do better, Y'all don't talk smack and like, oh, well, we steal the stuff. No, y'all don't do that. Y'all go to the extreme and try to shut it down so they don't get recognition. That's not wanting anybody to do better. So I know y'all often hear me talk about the Xbox people that I feel like they're not putting the feet under Phil Spencer and them's fire enough and all that other stuff. But believe you me, it's not past me that there is a PlayStation wing out there that is just well beyond reality and well beyond reasoning. And so at the beginning of this whole bad news about CD Projekt Red, I just considered it PlayStation fanboy fodder. But as I continued to go down this path and look at the chain of events associated to this game, I said, no, there's some stuff here. There is some stuff here. Like, let's be honest. CD Projekt Red came and marketed this game as a current or as an 8th generation game, as a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One game. All right. And they did that, I believe, because they saw the success of The Witcher. The Witcher got 20 million, but because of when it released, it could have got more. Granted, see, look at Cyberpunk with all this controversy. They had 8 million pre-orders. It destroyed how Witcher's release, Witcher 3's. Destroyed it. And they'll get it right, and the game will sell more, but with a lower Metacritic, with lower reception across the board, it's going to decimate what Witcher 3 was able to do. Simply because they waited to release this game at the end of a generation, opposed to just making it a next generation launch platform or game. They're going to do better. So I think they knew that. And because they knew that, when the idea of Cyberpunk 2077 became as ambiguous and as huge as it undoubtedly had to become, and they realized that in order to make this game be something still, remarkable in the genre, they couldn't cut out anymore. Remember, they cut out third-person views for the most part and cut out this and cut out that. And they said, we can't cut out anymore. But we also realized that we can't realize what this game has the potential to be on this older hardware. These Jaguar cores are just crap. But what we can't do is we can't release back-to-back next generation games that are available at the launch of a console generation, not available on the previous gen, therefore minimizing our revenue. That's what they were thinking. So they released this game as it is, and I got to be honest with you. As someone who's played games like Last of Us 2, you know what I'm saying? Even Gears 5, you know what I mean? Looking at those games that run off that older hardware, again, they're not as large as this. But a Far Cry, they look a lot better. Those versions, like Far Cry 5 is a great example. You got a lot more happening in Cyberpunk than Far Cry 5 in a lot of ways. But if you're going to scale it back, you would at least expect it to be at a Far Cry 5 level, right? Am I right or am I wrong? If you scale back Cyberpunk 2077, you would expect the game to be like on the best performing hardware, to be this thing that we've never seen before. But on the older hardware where it's a little bit more difficult, it would be a Far Cry 5-esque type of ambiance. And this game on that older hardware feels, looks, smells nothing like a Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is a fathomable example of what, if you had to scale the game down, on what it should look like. This thing looks like Cry Far 1 on the older hardware. It's absurd. And it's not acceptable. And so all this backlash with CD Projekt Red getting a third of its stock price down, them having to have another conference call with investors. I still haven't heard it yet. Me hearing that Xbox and PlayStation knew the grave state that the game was in, but they also co-signed and just released this damn thing, especially Xbox, because they posed the marketing right. Hey, look, the new Madden curses Xbox having marketing rights to your game. I'm sorry, I don't mean that. It's just the luck of the draw. Like, it started with Division. Every game that Microsoft, every third-party game that Microsoft had marketing rights to, that they've heavily advertised, has been a disaster at launch. It first started with the first Division. Then it carried over to Fallout 76. And now it's landed in Far Cry. I mean, not Far Cry, Cyberpunk 2077. So it makes you go, maybe you don't go to Microsoft for marketing rights anymore for a while until the Madden curses are away from them. But again, I think we can all look at the game and say, hey, y'all, this is a far, on consoles, this is a far push away from Far Cry 5. Right? Like, you would expect it to at least, again, a scaled back version, acceptable on the consoles because it's older hardware, is Far Cry 5. And the only version that surpasses Far Cry 5 levels, or is Far Cry 5 counterpart on the platform opposite of PC, is Stadia. You know what I'm saying? And for all intents and purposes, y'all, you can consider Stadia last gen. I know there was some arguments about that, you know, and some differences I've had with some sentiments that were out there. And again, I'm not saying anybody's wrong, it's just different interpretations. I wouldn't say Stadia is not at all current gen. It has some current gen elements. It's a hybrid, right? Because again, we have games like Division 2, and up until recently, Destiny and Borderlands that were performing in a way that couldn't perform on the other hardware, that you had to upgrade for another $500 in order to get. And I still don't think the Division 2 upgrade is available on consoles. So again, with that said, the only platform that I think met the litmus for less, and I hate to use this word capable, but for the less capable unit would be the Stadia version. The Stadia version, when you contrast it to Far Cry 5, Cyberpunk 2077 runs better on Stadia than Far Cry 5 does. When you go to the consoles, Far Cry 5 looks and runs better than Cyberpunk 2077. To me, that's a big no-no. And I agree exactly with Zogic in a lot of ways about, you know, a lawsuit. What did he say? He said lawsuit should drop. Somebody said lawsuit should drop. I'm impartial to the fact that CD Projekt Red, and I love CD Projekt Red. I love Witcher. Witcher is in my top 3 of my games of this generation. But CD Projekt Red knew what they were doing. And they also doubled down on the ickiness of it by saying, if you want a refund, go get a refund. Knowing that we've seen left and right especially with PlayStation, who has abhorrent refund policies. I know firsthand because I got gypped earlier this year with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I bought it and didn't even play it. I had saw something somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to play this version because it doesn't look better than the version I can play on the PC." And so I went to go return it, and they was like, "Nope, we're not taking it back." I said, "Didn't play it. Nope, don't care. Not taking it back." Now, I'm not used to that because of how Stadia operates. So CD Projekt Red doubled down on its ickiness, and they said that you can go get a refund, and people ain't giving refunds. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Stadia went for the kill and offered free copies to people that own them. Hey, Zajic, come on, man. That's too murderous. That's right. They have to catch a charge for that one. That's too murderous. Oh, man, that's crazy. Dominic Scott says Stadia saved Cyberpunk. Oh, man, y'all's crazy out here, man. But I needed y'all today. I really did. Yeah, but it's greed. Ray Sherrod, you're absolutely correct. It's greed. And from a company that got so many accolades from being consumer friendly, what a difference a day makes, right? So when you see people say, like John Linneman, and now I can bring this over here. So shout out to my homie. I'm going to put him on blast because he like to talk stuff. I'm going to put him on blast. Now, this is a good friend of mine. Been a long-time supporter of my platform, even on the other channel. He's an Xbox enthusiast, so it was really when I was an Xbox enthusiast, but he still keep up with me, and we still chat it up and have a good time behind the scenes, too. He's one of those. He's a good guy. Very good guy. My friend, the Lizard. He was responding to Gaz of Game On Daily had said that, hey, he says, I mocked Stadia, but boy, was I silly to do so. Playing Cyberpunk 2077 on this was an eye-opener. It may be as good as the experience on my PC, but it may not be as good, but it's close. Do not write streaming off. This is the future. Now that, my friends, is the way that the mainstream media needs to pull back on all the bullpucky that they said. Not because I got some grudge against them. I could care less what they like. But the fact, again, that they were misinforming gamers, and this platform is definitely is here as a buffer against that. And for you to get our seal of approval to say, look, you are now a credible source to talk about this platform. I mean, I can't stop you. I can't grant you a pass to be allowed to talk about this platform. But in order for you to be considered a credible source to talk about this platform that we can endorse, you got to do something like this. You got to do something like this. You got to come clean. For my hip hop heads, y'all know what I mean when I say this. Y'all got to come clean like J. Rue. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all got to come clean. Homie Gas came clean like J. Rue on this one. He said, I mocked Stadia, but boy, was I silly to do so. He get the MM2K endorsement just off of that. He didn't have to bend his knee, you know what? He ain't got to do a Jimmy and Tammy Baker, I have sinned. He ain't got to do that. All he got to do is say, yo, look, I was spitting some hot bibble babble. I thought I was spitting hot fire. And it was trash. Now I'm actually playing the biggest game of the year, arguably, on this platform that I was trashing, and come to find out that a lot of my trashing was trash itself. Say that fast 5 times. Get this on this platform, y'all. Y'all good to go. He got my endorsement. Now, just because he got my endorsement don't mean that he may say something that's infactual, that like you know what I'm saying, that just needs the tires kicked on, or whatever the case may be. But I can sit there and say, you know what? I would trust Game On Daily now because it seems like that they're out of the weeds and they've done some due diligence just by playing the platform. Like, it's hard to get due diligence where people do the proper research on something. People have so many thoughts on stuff that they do not touch. I was having a conversation with my son last night. Shout out to Shogun 2K. Love my son dearly, but he's part of this generation, and I'm trying to get him out of these horrible habits. I had a conversation with my son the other day, last night, as a matter of fact, and y'all might think I'm a horrible dad for saying this, but I know which kid to allow to play stuff, which one not to play stuff. I told my son, I said, look, I'm going to make a deal with you. You can play Cyberpunk 2077, but you can only play after 5 p.m. And I need you to turn that nudity. I need you to turn the nudity filter off. I need you to show me that you turned it off, and I'm going to be checking on you, making sure that it's off. All right, Dad, it's cool. I could do that with him. Now, my other son, when he was younger, oh, no, because I might go be in school. Yeah, I turned that nudity filter back on. And yeah, there was nipples everywhere, teacher. He'll be telling you that. I'm saying. So you got to know your kids. Anyway, so there goes my application for Father of the Year, right? With that said, he was like, no, Dad, no, I ain't even interested. I said, why ain't you interested? He said, cuz, Dad, I already know what the game is like. I'm like, whoa. I said, now, when did you play a game like Cyberpunk 2077 without me knowing? How'd you get access to it? He's like, no, Dad, no. I ain't played it. I was watching it. I said, what? He said, yeah, Dad, I watched it. I said, okay. But you ain't played it. I said, you understand, this is a video game. And in order for you to know if the video game is good, you have to play it. That would be like me going to the movies to watch The Matrix. I come out and you say to me, hey, yo, MM2K, how was The Matrix? And I was like, nah, you know what, man? I really wasn't digging it. Oh, man, you wasn't digging it? Well, wasn't the special effects and stuff cool at least? Oh, I don't know, because I had a blindfold on. I was only listening to it. You actually look, and my son's only 14, right? So I can't be mad. I can't be too mad at him. But see, he's getting this type of mind state cascaded from him, from people that are in their 20s and 30s and even 40s who don't feel due diligence is important, that don't feel that you can judge games by playing them, that sit there and pull up YouTube and want to tell you if a game is good or not. I think that's horrendous. But that is the core of the mainstream media right now. And that's why you had a lot of bibble babble about Stadia, because they felt like they didn't have to pick it up. All they had to do was see their colleagues say something negative, pull out a clip. The one dude hit the space bar and the thing was going up and down 5 minutes later. I ain't got to do no due diligence and research on my behalf and see why maybe it was jumping up and down like that. My colleague did it. I saw it. That's good enough for me. That's the era that we are in, my friends. And a lot of people that would expect you to just assume that you do more as a journalist are getting gypped because of that. And that is why this platform is here. We are here as a buffer to those that just have common decency to themselves and say, you know what? You say you're a journalist, you got on a journalist uniform. It reminds me of the old Dave Chappelle skit, Killing Them Softly, where somebody was talking about, why are you judging me the way that I dress? And he said, imagine if you're running from a robber and you see me on the corner in my police uniform, and you say, oh my God, it's a cop. And you run to me. And I'm sitting here, looking like I'm writing a ticket or observing something. and you're running me, and you're like, oh my God, officer, thank you very much. They tried to steal my car back there. They're back there. I'm on the corner of 3rd and first, and can you help me? And Dave Chappelle says, and then what if I turn to you and say, hold on, wait a minute. How dare you judge me like that and think I'm a cop? Just because I got on this uniform doesn't mean that I'm a cop, right? So the woman or whatever would look bewildered, right? And so the theory of that is you got a lot of journalists that are mad. They'll block you, they'll do whatever. They're mad because once we discover that they're not doing due diligence and we put them to task, they're like, well, hold on. Just because I write for a publication or I contribute to a publication, I write articles like a journalist does. I make videos about how I tried this and that out. That doesn't mean that I'm a full-fledged journalist. I'm an opinion writer. Like opinion writing doesn't require you to still do due diligence. You did due diligence. You came up with facts, and those facts shaped your opinion. Now, you're going to like what you're going to like, regardless of what the facts are. But even as an opinion writer, you put the facts out there so those that don't think like you can say, oh, I get where he's coming from, but that type of thing doesn't bother me. I'm on board. Right? Now, am I lying or am I flying? Shout out to my good brother, Hell Monkey. He said, tore myself away from division and get on in this action. Now, am I lying or am I flying? So again, that's why we do what we do, because not only are they misinforming the unsuspecting gamer, but we got the younger generation, the ones that are going to usher gaming in. And even when we're in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, hey, look, we're going to be the first 60, 70-year-old generation still gaming with our arthritis and half of our teeth in our face, right? Gumming on some honeygrams. This is the generation. These are the future journalists. These are the future developers. The future content creators that will be there when we get older. And we are no longer cool enough to be front-facing or client-facing, as they say in my industry. So it's important. We have a responsibility to make sure that we're passing off the torch right. And that we're not letting these that are thirsty for clicks or attention just get away with stuff that isn't appropriate. To me, that's crazy. My son told me that he understands what type of game Cyberpunk 2077 is because he saw some videos on YouTube. That's absurd to me. And I know he didn't get that from me. In no way no way on God's green earth did he get that from me. I hate to say it, but I came from these schmucks out here in the mainstream media that don't feel like due diligence is prevalent enough for them to sit there and say stuff in absolutes. To me, that's absurd. So, with all that said, I saw this tweet response from my friend the Lizard. He says, I'm going to keep rocking with my Series X for now, but glad Stadia is holding up. But he put this out here to be smart. Because John Linneman said, PC version is best on medium to high-end gear. I enjoyed it. Xbox Series X is second best and pretty solid. Stadia or PlayStation 5 is probably third or fourth. Pay close attention to that. Other versions run like Far Cry 3 on PlayStation 3 or 360 or worse. Avoid for now. Now, what he was saying is, the reason why he put this out is because Stadia or PlayStation 5 is third or fourth. This is telling me that he has not played the Stadia version. Because we know John Linneman has a PlayStation 5. We know he has one. We know he has an Xbox Series X. We've seen him receive both of them. What we also know is that per my response, John don't have the internet necessary to assess Stadia like that. He's getting his info secondhand. Plus, he readily admits he doesn't like streaming. Digital Foundry already showed their lack of understanding of optimizing a stream network after Doom and got caught out. Chill, bruh. And here goes the exhibits. This is a conversation that me and Logic Police was having, with many of us were having with Digital Foundry when they did that whole shamble of a review of Doom on the platform. He responded to me and said, that's simple. Code didn't arrive until yesterday, and I don't have the bandwidth necessary to play 4K on Stadia or even the streaming stick necessary to use it. I can't cover Stadia is what I'm saying. Tom might be looking at it next week, maybe. If Tom is in the UK, I asked, then is it not feasible for him to do now either with data caps nonetheless as a tech evaluation camp? Shouldn't you guys have this, considering for high-end cloud evals? You can get, and I break everything down to him. And he responds to me, no, you're missing the key thing here. My area does not offer internet that fast. It simply is not available here, and there's nothing I can do. Okay? Then also fast forward to another discussion that they're having, particularly on Cyberpunk 2077. Oliver Darko says, I hate to say it, but the version for Google Stadia is reportedly running very well. Ha! John says, I'm not a fan of streaming, but I have to admit it's a version I could recommend this time. Now again, he's already admitted that he doesn't have access to internet to do these evals. Right here, in his comment here, to appease the Xbox people, pretty much, because Digital Foundry was having issues with them, saying all these third-party games were running better on the PlayStation 5. This is a balancing act that they got to play here because of their Patreon. Oh, I said it. That's right. I said it. Stadia or PlayStation 5 is probably third or fourth. How don't you know? Unless you're not doing this unless you're not doing this firsthand. I can tell you this. I haven't seen the Xbox version, but most of the people that I know that have the Xbox version and have the Stadia version prefer the Stadia version. They tell me that visually, the shadows and stuff are darker and the contrast and stuff is slightly better on Xbox. But the performance is it runs a lot smoother on Stadia. Overall, it just runs a lot smoother on Stadia. And they'd rather take the smoothness and how it runs over the very slight. This is what I'm hearing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But what I want to address first is the absolutist mind state that people are taking this in. And you got to understand, now people may look at this and say, MM2K, why is this important? Just enjoy it where you want to play it. That's not the point. This is when you're talking about journalism, it's not about you necessarily enjoying the medium that they're talking about. Once you enjoy the medium, you really don't need the journalist, do you? No. So if I as MM2K are talking about what the journalists are saying, it's not about me. And this platform here is not about me. This platform here is about you. Those of you that have not touched it yet, who may be on the fence and trying to make a reasonable decision that best fits you. It's important for you to have all the facts on the table. And I didn't create this platform for you to sit here and listen to me and focus all your energy on what I like. It's not what I do here. I give you my opinion. I give you my thoughts, but I do it in the prism of, look, here's how I feel about it, but here's exactly why. Hopefully, you'll find what you need for however way you'll feel about it. And right now, Digital Foundry, when it comes to cloud gaming, is not a reliable source. They are great at analyzing hardcore data as it relates to steady device gaming, consoles and PCs. Stay away from them when it comes to cloud gaming. And it has nothing to do with if it's third or fourth or whatever. I just don't want people getting caught in the muck of thinking that they're dealing with a trusted source of something when they're not. Great people to follow when it comes to dedicated device analysis, not opinions, because they give their opinions on stuff all the time, and I think their opinions be out in the stratosphere somewhere. But when it comes to their analysis of dedicated devices, I think these guys are great at that. But at that and that only. Do not fall in the muck with these guys because they're willing to put comments out here like this that sound absolutist and give you the impression that they have firsthand experience when you look and assess everything, they don't. You're missing the key thing here. My area does not offer the internet fast enough for him to review Stadia. Now, him saying that Stadia is third or fourth next to the PC or whatever, that's minute. That's not the point. The fact of the matter is no matter how big or small, these guys will make absolutist comments about cloud gaming without doing their due diligence. And why don't they care about it? They explain to you why. I'm not a fan of streaming. That's it in a nutshell. So something to just to look out for, my friends. Don't let this set you up and think, oh, Digital Foundry has gotten better at doing. I know there was a big muck up with Doom, but Digital Foundry has gotten better now because they're talking in absolutes about which place this one. Nope. They still have no clue. They still have no idea on how to do it. It is evident. And for the simple fact there's no Stadia video. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Now, this is my personal opinion. I'd rather keep Digital Foundry far away from this until they get a cloud expert. Like if they were to go hire Random Noob, I think that's what they should do. If they were to go hire the homie Random Noob or something like that, then I would feel comfortable with Digital Foundry analysis because they have someone that knows how to properly gauge the performance of cloud gaming. But the guys that are there right now, they don't know. And a lot of people don't know. Like I get told all the time. I don't understand why Stadia's output isn't better. There's 10.7 teraflops. That ain't got nothing to do with the T in China. That's how much powerful the actual physical hardware is in the server blades. That image and everything in the video that's coming from that hardware still has to be extracted and sent to you via codecs. Or the stability of them is dependent upon the codecs that are available, rather. Like, for instance, I could have a buttery smooth stream. My network could be great. Everything's running great from the blade, fast internet, everything. If I'm using a VP9 codec, the Division 2 is going to look fantastic. If I switch that mug to H.264, it's not going to look great. So the codec plays this very same stream. The codec can degrade the value of the image that I'm getting. So it's not about the teraflops that's in the server blades. The codecs play a role. You have never heard that from Digital Foundry because they don't understand this stuff yet. I don't understand how the Tomb Raider looked like this when they were analyzing it. We don't understand how it looks because... And not once did I ever hear them talk about codecs. That just proves to you they don't understand this. So the reason why I brought this up, and I wasn't to put this much emphasis on it, but it's my job to make sure that you know the right pathways to go to get reliable information. Seeing a tweet like this, seeing them mention Stadia, do not fall for the okie doke. They still are just as clueless about how cloud gaming works as they were back there in the Doom days when Stadia had to call them up and they said, oh, dear Lord. Oh, my God, these guys are stepping all over themselves. They done stepped on the beer trap, fell on their face and fell in the rat trap. And now, you know what I'm saying? Let's give these mugs a call. They still are just as clueless back then as they are now. Okay? Shout out to the homie Project Stone with the $20. He says they can hire me. I know how to zoom in and have a natural eye for FPS. I can do a better job than John Lennon and some of these other facts. He says, at least he said he will recommend it, but still, I don't know. You know what? That, again, and Chris, I'm glad you said that. Great point. It was the same point that I brought up yesterday. We will take the accolades. I have taken stuff from Inside Gaming. I'll take it from Digital Foundry. Anybody that wants to say something positive about Stadia, I will retweet it and I will put it to surface. But what you're not going to get is you're not going to get an endorsement from this platform. You're going to actually still get a warning from me to the people that follow this platform to say, let's take the kudos, because we already know that Stadia works great. So the more people that sing its praises, that's better. They're not saying anything we don't know. Fine. If you want to pronounce that water is wet, I'll give you a round of applause. But what I'm not going to do is not going to say, okay, because I gave you a round of applause for that comment, I'm now going to sit there and give people false inclinations that you're a reliable source for this type of medium. You're not. They're still not. So that's a great point, Christopher Torres. I will give them kudos for that as well and say, great, even Digital Foundry recommends Stadia even they don't like it, but they're still not a reliable source to break down or analyze the tech. And they know that. That's why they're not saying anything, doing any analysis for Stadia, and let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. But great point, Chris. Thank you very much for that. Homie Amonor says, you want Digital Foundry away from Stadia because they're going to show the show. Shut up, Amonor. Get your ass out of here. Charles says, I thought they had a cloud expert. No. They have no cloud expert, none whatsoever. So Digital Foundry has no position on commenting on cloud gaming, period, for saying this nonsense. I can't say that they have no position, because I can't say who gets to speak about what. They're free to say whatever they want. But when it comes to cloud gaming, they have no credibility, is what I'm saying. They have no credibility whatsoever when it comes to cloud gaming, because, again, one of the major pillars of that group doesn't care for it, doesn't even have the internet to access it, and when he punted it off to Tom messed it all up. Google had to call him, like, bro, what is you doing? Help him out, and he still got it messed up. But we'll take it. We'll take the accolades, but you're not getting the endorsement. I think that's the best way to describe it. We're still not endorsing you as a go-to source when it comes to cloud gaming, but we'll take the accolades. We'll take them. Shout out to the homie Project Storm with the 10. He says, make sure y'all tune in to SML Podcast this Saturday for a chance to win a shiny new Premiere Edition. What up, Tron? Absolutely. And the link to the video was the last video that I did, but I'll drop a link to the video before we leave today. Bibbidi Bob says, wasn't John saying, why don't we just go to cloud after the PlayStation went back on their promise when they said that we believe in generations? I'm not sure, but John, he's a special case. He's a special kind. If y'all know what that song is. Shout out to Gerald Levert. He's a special kind. No, but yeah. Shout out to him. And that's why I'm not even going after. Again, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. It's not even worth going after John for this. But these are slides for us internally to have discussions on in the community. Because we get it. As much as we are happy that you guys support us, we know that you're not just sitting there like mummies in a catacomb waiting for us to go on air before you go look for resources. We know that. You are looking at different entities to try to get information. We just don't want you stepping on any bear traps. Digital Foundry is a big name. They have a lot of numbers next to their name. That's alluring. But I'm here to tell you, they still are not there yet when it comes to analyzing cloud gaming. And I love, not John Lennon, what's the other guy's name? The older guy. I love him. But they don't understand the tech yet. Like I said, I've never heard them talk about the codecs. They don't understand that. Me, just a regular Joe Schmo that steals his wife's credit card, I understand this better than them. And they get paid. They get major resources and revenue to help them investigate this stuff. I ain't got no latency tester and all this other stuff. I just did regular due diligence. I'm paid with elbow grease. They refuse to do it. So they're still not a credible source, but we'll take the accolades. So some people were mocking Stadia for the outage yesterday by sharing a Reddit post. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And it's something that Stadia got to get on top of that. Because it was cool the first time to say, oh, look, we are popular. We're so popular, we got shut down. But now that it's happened back-to-back times within a week, yeah, they got to get on that. The homie Amunar says, sounds good, Storm. Good luck to everyone. Absolutely. You can enter. And again, in order to enter, you got to follow Project Storm. Now, here's what I really wanted to talk about, y'all. And I'm glad Storm's here because he can chime in too in the chat. We I know I'm stumbling all over the place here. Storm and I have 3080s and 3070s. He got the 3080. I got the 3070. We both have been playing Cyberpunk. Last night, the reason why I'm tired and I have a lot of stuff that I'm behind on is because at midnight, see, my wife took all my credit cards. She took all my funds, y'all. She took it all. We're trying to buy a house. She said, my wife is one of those people where when it comes to buying houses and cars, she don't like just dropping a couple thousand down for the down deposit. She want to drop a third right then and there. So I'm looking at bank statements and I'm like, ooh. I'm like, oh. So I've been chipping away at what we had. She's like, nah, puppy, I'm taking it all. I'm taking it all. So she took it all. So then late last night, I'm like, well, dang, man, I got to get Cyberpunk 2077, but I just bought it on Stadia, and I thought they had already taken it out. It just came out the day the game released. My wife asked me what was this, and I said, remember this is the game that you said I could buy, you know what I'm saying, like a little 5-year-old, like I'm a teenager. And she's like, oh, okay, all right, I got you. And I'm like, well, damn, I can't get it for PC, right? So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how I'm going to get this thing for PC. Then I remember that I had some Target gift cards. And if you don't know, Target is running a deal where if you buy Steam cards, you get like $1.30 off every Steam card that you buy, or for every $20 you spend. So I got two $20 cards, and then I realized, I said, oh, well, I got my Target credit card that they found, so I just used them on that, right? So then after that, I said, all right, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna download Cyberpunk 2077, I'm gonna play it. And I just got me a super fast Western Digital NVMe card that I've been had sitting here, but I never knew how to get it to work because I have like the super fast NVMe Hypers drive port on my PC. I could never get it to work. And what it was is the ADATA SSD drive that I tried to put in there wasn't supported. It's not a hyper drive, you know what I'm saying? I had an NVMe Express. So I plugged my NVMe Express in there, got it to work. I'm like, oh, everything is super, super, super fast now. I'm gonna play Cyberpunk. Booted up Cyberpunk. Was playing around with the settings on 4K, y'all. And on 4K, I was able to play it at high. I was able to play it at high on 4K with DLSS on. Now, DLSS is Nividia's version of what do you call it? It's Nividia's version of their AI and their machine learning. So you actually are bumping down native resolution, but it uses AI and machine learning to, gloss it back up the best way that it can. So you still get a 4K image, and I'm telling you, their technology is fantastic. Because I couldn't tell the difference. I really couldn't tell the difference. So oh my God, that technology, GFN, once they get their stuff together, and is it going to be as good as Stadia? I don't know, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. If they can omit that type of AI machine learning in the cloud, my God. So I'm playing it at 4K 60 with ray tracing on as well. And I'm moving around and I'm playing the game and I'm looking at the textures and I'm looking at everything. And I'm like, yeah, these textures are more detailed. They look great. And don't get me wrong, I put it on Ultra first just to see. And Ultra with DLSS on, I could get 30 frames. So I'm looking at it at 30 frames at Ultra. I didn't do Psycho. Psycho is just insane. My PC would have blown up. But at Ultra, DLSS on, ray tracing on, 30 frames per second. It looks better than Stadia. But was it to the point to where I was knocked out of my socks better? And I have to say no. And this is not cap, y'all. I have to say no. This is not cap. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the game itself, the effort that was put into it, but I've seen better looking. I have on PC games. And I went into the neon lights and all that other stuff. And I don't know. Marchief and Ace of Cloud Gaming Extreme. Or shoot, my apologies for that. I know Storm is in the chat. He's going to say, get it right. They did a video on this too. This is what prompted me to do this as well. Because I felt it was funny because I woke up and really that was the first tweet that I saw from them in their video. And at Ultra, 30 frames per second. Was that, even with the ray tracing on, was it that much better with all the investment that I made, the running to Target at midnight, the getting the SSD core, putting it in a hyperdrive and optimizing that, doing all the stuff that I did? Did I get the end result that I was expecting out of that? And the answer is no. I'm not saying it looked bad, but I wasn't as impressed as I was expected to be. So with that being said, y'all, I know there's that looming question for many that may ask, you know what? What am I missing with the Stadia version? Even though the Stadia version, let's just play devil's advocate and say John is spot on. Let's just say, even though he's not talking from firsthand experience, let's just say if the chips fall where he says they do. Let's just say if the Xbox Series X version is second best, Stadia is third or fourth. How much are you missing, though, from the first option, the PC option. And I can tell you with a 3070 card, an i7-8700, 16 gigs of RAM, freaking 1 terabyte NVMe Express SSD cards linked up to the hyperlink port of the you know what I'm saying, of the motherboard, with all that DLSS on, getting to that 4K 60 on high settings, 4K 30 on ultra settings. I'll say ultra high. Some of the lighting effects I had to bump down to high to keep it at a stable 30. High or very high, rather. Depends on the setting. And I think that's the point that Marchief and Ace was getting to. Not that the Stadia version is right there behind PC, but it's not that. It's the gap between PC and Stadia isn't as grandiose as you might expect it to be, unless you got a rig, let's say like my bro 6'4". 6'4" is rocking a 3090. I mean, he built him a rocket ship. That's my opinion. So with that being said, because I was expecting, honestly, I'm going to be keeping it jiggy with y'all. I was expecting to boot up that PC version and rarely come back to the Stadia version. I ain't going front. Now the textures and the distances, and again, this is a problem on anything that isn't the PC version. But the distances, the draw distances, and the textures when you're far away, and the textures in general, they're not what I expected for this game on Stadia console, whatever. They're not. But I hate to say it, I'm with all that hardware, again, 3070, 16 gigs of RAM, i7-8700, DLSS equipped. I just wasn't super 4K monitor, V-Sync activated. I just wasn't as impressed. I didn't get the gap. Normally, with any other game, I think that there would have been any other big AAA game, I think there would have been a much bigger gap. So again, I'm not saying, look, if you got a PC and you want to try Cyberpunk, try it. If you got a powerful enough PC, but what I'm saying to the Stadia community, and that's not to say that I'm not going to play it again on PC. I want y'all to be fully aware. I'm going to play it on PC again. I am going to play it. Ain't nothing wrong with playing it on PC. What I'm letting y'all know, though, is that that's still okay. What I'm letting y'all know is that if you have it on Stadia, be very proud of that version. Be very proud of that version. That version is that's a damn good version. And now is a perfect segue. Now that we know that we're getting ray tracing and stuff coming, if that gets implemented, and just because it's supposed to be big updates coming in January, February, if that gets implemented into the Stadia version, oh man. So be very proud. So at the end of the day, this whole thing with John Linneman, for those that are probably listening to this and are saying, who cares? Yeah, who cares? If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But again, we're all human. And I know there's people that are sitting out there thinking that may have the resources like, wow, am I really missing out on the PC version? Oh man, am I really missing out? I would say that the PC version is what the game should have been. If you take the PC version, put it on medium high settings, it's what the game should have been elsewhere. Or I'm sorry, if you take the PC version and put it on high settings, that's what the game should have been elsewhere. but the game is what it is. And be proud of the Stadia version. Definitely. It's one version to be proud of. Zogic says, yeah, Stadia seems comparable. I've seen mixed reviews. The textures are technically better on Stadia, but also kind of lost due to stream compression. Yep. Boom, more truth. Says Stadia Pro Gaming. Definitely no character daily routines. No wanted system. And more is missing, but fun. Shame on you, P. Red. Yeah. JXR1 says Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are back compat versions. They only get better. Stadia will need Gen 2.0 to get the new patch. Yeah. They will need to upgrade, and that likely will be happening, you know. But I wanted to throw that out there. And this tweet right here cemented why we do what we do. Don't fall for the okie doke as far as reliable sources are concerned. They can give accolades and I'll promote them. But as far as them being a reliable source and getting your clicks, be a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, self-aware of the clicks that you give away. You know what I'm saying? Be a little bit more about your clicks, proud about your clicks. They're not deserving of them yet, not just yet. We'll take the accolades, but until they better verse themselves on cloud gaming, their digital Foundry isn't there yet. All right. Now, that said, let me get on to the next part. Vulkan ray tracing. So apparently ray tracing is coming to Hitman 3. And I think Hitman 3 is dropping in January, right, y'all? What do y'all think about that? Hold on, Amador says, Stadia's biggest bottleneck is that it works differently for everyone, or it may or may not work at your home. Facts. Hold on one second, let me blow my nose. We're gonna have fun with this one, Amador. Hold on, let me blow my nose before I kick your ass all up and down the boulevard. Let me ask you a question. If I have a PlayStation 5 and the best my TV can do is 1080p and it's a 60 hertz monitor, is that PlayStation 5's problem? No. I don't have the acceptable, or I don't have the proper setup for the capable output from the PlayStation 5 unit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have in my possession what is needed to extract the best output from that platform. That's not a PlayStation. So and that's what kills me, because the vast majority of homes have what? 1080p TVs. They don't have 120 hertz TVs. They got 60 hertz TVs. But you never hear that. See, that's another argument. I'm glad Amador put that out here, because that's a field test right there. You never hear that argument for PlayStation 5. You never hear or Xbox. Oh man, the Xbox is a problem because it don't give you top fidelity resolution for any TV that you're on. The response to that is going to be, okay, well then you got to get a better TV. You just don't have the capable hardware or the capable things in your possession to emit the best output. Or maybe you got to calibrate. Maybe you do, but you got to calibrate. Did you calibrate your TV? Oh, why I got to do that? Well, if you want the best, you got to, get the best performance out of there. That's the way to do it. The same thing applies to cloud gaming. It's not Stadia's fault that a lot of y'all be on Pornhub all day and y'all done messed up y'all network, or y'all still got networks, y'all still got modems from 1982, the Netgear version 1.0 from 1982. Y'all still running on dial-up, AOL, How is that Stadia's fault? If I plug my PlayStation 5 or my Xbox Series X into a 1080 60 hertz TV, I am not getting the best fidelity that those systems can omit. If I get Stadia and I don't make sure that my network is up to par, check my GC ping, check my network speed, and make sure that I ain't got a workplace VPN and stuff like that. If I don't do just those simple things that you can go to stadiahelpcenter.com and it'll easily help you go through, then I'm not going to get the best that the platform can provide. Or if I don't have stable enough internet, period, just in general. It's the same theory. It's just it's a different catalyst that is dependent upon the output that you get. When it comes to daddy devices, it's solely upon the TV, the type of TV that you have. When it comes to cloud gaming, it's dependent upon your network. That's all. Neil's still in the house. What is going on, homie? Jackstar1 says, imagine if Cyberpunk came out back in April. Oh, man. Heck shit. You ain't never lied. But we got it. But again, that's another thing that talking point they throw out there that makes no sense. It works differently for everybody because everybody has different networks. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X is going to look differently for everybody because everybody has different TVs. You got to calibrate the thing that's important of omitting the fidelity. If you don't do that, if you don't make sure that it's up to par, that's on you. That's not Stadia's problem, just like it ain't Xbox's problem, just like it ain't PlayStation's problem. But back to the back to the ray tracing. This is going to be big, y'all. Vulkan is, the Vulkan ray tracing that we've been talking about, and shout out to Chase, we were talking about on his channel. It's now available. What do y'all think about this? Let me know in the chat. While y'all let me know, I'm going to go to some of y'all past comments. It's coming to Hitman 3, and I think Hitman 3 is coming out in January. Zogic says, yeah, Stadia seems comparable. I've seen mixed. Okay. Yep, I read that one. Aminor, that is correct. Since it relies on the internet. Oh, yeah. He was just simply reiterating what I was saying. He says, yeah, and Bippedy's talking about Digital Foundry. Yeah, they need to stay far away from Stadia. They will find the one or two bad ports and highlight eggs. Yeah, absolutely. Christopher Turner says, MM2K were a little powwow for acting up. Agree. Yep. Oh, here goes Amador again. He says, come on, man, stay honest. Don't become a Stadia fanboy, MM2K. No, I'm serious, bro. I like don't get me, look, I'm going to be streaming, just so y'all aware, on my MM2K channel. I'm going to stream the PC version. I'm going to let y'all see for yourselves. I'm going to stream the PC version. And you see differences in textures. Is the biggest problem with the versions that aren't on PC is the draw distances. The draw distances are horrific. I think that's the worst problem. If something is like 5 feet away from you, or no, 10 feet or more away from you, it looks like a damn moon pie. It looks like a bowl of oatmeal. That's the worst problem on the other platforms. And I've never seen it that bad on a AAA game like that. But if they were to fix that and just bump the resolution up a little bit, make the image a little bit sharper, and increase the textures just a tad, then you really wouldn't have, then you really would have a very small gap between what you're getting for a $0 platform and a multi-$1,000 PC. Shout out to the homegirl Tron of Roundtable Podcast with King Thrash Sick Humor and on the MM2K videos channel every Wednesday for the commission. Definitely check her out. She is an aficionado of gaming news. Definitely check her out. Dosage says, I'm sure they're working on video to ish on Stadia version. Yeah. I don't know. Here's what I've seen. I've seen John Linneman get peppered by Stadia people and him not say a word. And I think that despite all of the accolades that the Stadia version is getting, I think that's the best that they're going to do. And it still is a slight disservice to Stadia because John really isn't sure he's talking about this secondhand for all intents and purposes, from what I know. And I'm just going off of what he said prior. It looks like for all intents and purposes, he's talking about this secondhand. But I'd rather that be his response, because the perception's already out there with John when it comes to cloud gaming. And kudos to, if I give John any credit for this, I'll give him credit for this. He's been straight up and honest about it. He said, I don't like cloud gaming. I don't like it. So he's pretty much taking his hat out of the basket for even one. He doesn't even want to be a reliable source for cloud gaming. And that whole Doom situation came about because remember, y'all, we went to them and asked them, well, Doom looks so great on Stadia. How come you don't give a comparison of Doom on Stadia to help, give some accolades to the platform? And what they did is took the fact that the game ran so well over the cloud and took every little negative and churned it up to 1,000. Meanwhile, not even optimizing their network in the long run. And I think that was done purposely. And I think the retraction that they had to do, they didn't expect they had to do it. They did not expect the backlash that they got. And they did it unwillingly, but they had to do it because their credibility was on the line. And they realized that they are hardcore hardware enthusiasts and they don't want nothing to do with cloud gaming right now. And that's fine. Rachel Ross said, caught my son getting lap dances, golly, and GTA. Yeah. Charles Rand said, some mainstream media people will mock. Okay, yeah, I read that one. Yeah, but let them do it. They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. All right. It looks like, okay. Well, with that said, it looks like y'all have no questions about the ray tracing on Stadia, and that's cool. We'll wrap this up. I was only expecting to do this for 45 minutes. I went over double time, so my wife's going to kick my ass. With that said, again, guys, I was just amazed by what I saw from Marchief and Ace, and I kind of filled them on it. Now, I'm not going to lie. I cannot lie. Having 4K at 60, even though it's like DLSS 4K, having that with the better textures at 60 frames per second, that is dope. Don't get me wrong, it is dope. But I don't know what it is. For some reason, it wasn't as dope as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest with you. I expected the PC version to blow not only Stadia, because it's not a Stadia thing, but blow all the other versions out of the water. And it is better. It is significantly better in a lot of ways, but it didn't give me the feeling of super, super extreme superiority. Like, if the Stadia version just does a few things like work on the draw distances, upgrade the textures and the resolution just a little bit, it's going to go a long way. It's going to really make that gap feel small. And that's just me. But with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Hey, yo, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. We're going to, again, don't forget about the giveaway. Let me see if I can find the link for the giveaway. Please check this video for the giveaway. It lets me do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Let's go here. I'm gonna put the Premiere bundle giveaway. Let's see here. So, SML sponsored. Can't type today. Sponsored giveaway. All right, this is the link to it right here, y'all. Make sure that y'all go here and check that out. And good luck to everybody. Again, in order to be eligible, you got to be following Project Storm on YouTube. Follow him on YouTube, then also go to the watch his video. That's in the description and the links, various links throughout the video to get ways on how to enter into the contest and put entries in. You can put up to 2 entries, I think, every day. All right. With that said, thank you guys very much for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And until then, till next time, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.